Hi, it's your coach, Joe Lucas. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to October 12th. Hey, hope you're having a great week. Today, let's talk a little bit about your team, your assistant, the people around you, because again, I think a lot of advisors don't really have a good concept on leadership, on getting the most out of your people. And let me say this, there's a huge differential between leadership and management. So this is not about managing your people. This is about leading your people. Now, some of you have written me over the last several weeks, Joe, you just kind of riff all this stuff out all the time. Like, how do you prep? Do you have notes? And the answer is no. In my typical tactical coaching day, I'll have anywhere from 12 to 15 individual calls with advisors, one-on-ones, right? Just one-on-ones. And so what I normally do is I'll go find a conversation I had that I thought was interesting, right? I say, that's a good topic. We'll pivot that up tomorrow, right? And so yesterday I was talking to a client and we're talking about his team. And, and here's the deal. And I've said this on a video, I can think a couple weeks ago. There are three identities all advisors need to master, okay? The first identity is the identity of being the advisor or being the financial planner or being the investment manager, whatever identity you want to put on that for yourself, okay? You need to master that. And by the way, most of you have a very good grasp on that, right? That's why you're still here. The second identity is the entrepreneur, which is the visionary, what I want to accomplish, kind of the big picture thinker, stuff like that. And a lot of you have to develop that. It is developable, by the way, in that regard. The third one, though, is business owner. And this is where we have some challenges, right? And that is about, tracking, business planning, budgets, KPIs, managing your resources, including people and leadership. Okay. So in my experiences of nearly 25 years, your team members fall into two categories, engines or anchors. So either A, they are engines of your success. They add value. They move the needle, right? They make things happen, right? Or they hold you back. Now, if they're the second one holding you back, the question is, why do they hold you back, right? And there's some possibilities. Again, I don't know your personal situation, but let me kind of throw some scenarios out for you. Number one, you could have just hired the wrong person. Or, God forbid, you're at a firm and they give you the wrong person, right? It's bottom line, wrong person, wrong fit, wrong job match, and square peg and round hole, right? And that's very, very possible. A lot of times, though, what it boils down to is, and this is just the way I do things, if I got a client that comes to me and they really start bitching about their assistant, their team, their staff, whatever, the first question I ask is, well, okay, who's responsible for that, right? And I say, well, who do they report to? And I put a big smile on my face, right? Especially if we're doing like a Zoom or something or a go-to-meeting. I say, well, hey, who's the leader, right? And yeah, it's the man or woman in the mirror, right? That person, right? So you, the advisor, are also culpable in this. And I know you probably don't want to hear that, because at the end of the day, if you're tolerating things, if you're not communicating effectively, if you're not providing leadership and guidance and accountability and just really kind of bringing the team together, that's on you, the leader. And I know what some of you sit there and say, look, Joe, I just want to hire people and let them do their jobs. This is why you're not succeeding. It is a flawed approach, right? You must understand, if you want to get to where you need to go, you need everybody rowing the boat, same direction, in unison. You can't have off things, right? Probably what most advisors have, and what's why I found, is there's a lack of communication. Now, when I say lack of communication, I don't mean in a very tactical sense of get this done, I need this, where's that, so on, the day-to-day stuff. When's the last time you sat down with your team and outlined your vision for the business and how they benefit and how they contribute and how they're a part of something bigger? How many of you have really sat down and told your people, hey, here's what we do for people. This is the result of the work. So it's not just about portfolios and financial plans and everything like that, but look at the results we get, right? Look at the meaning we give people, right? If you're not making what they do, important, because remember, there's a huge differential. You have two types of team members: people that want jobs and people that want careers. The ones that want jobs, those are the ones you need to pay very close attention to, because as soon as a better job or a easier job or something comes along, they're gone, right? You want people that have a career, that see a vision, that see a bigger picture. But if you're not out, it's not up to them to come to that. That's your responsibility. So if you're not outlining to your team regularly, and I'm not going to get into what team meetings look like and all that. That's a whole other process. But here's the bottom line: if you're tolerating, your team not being where they need to be, first off, take responsibility. Second, get a meeting, clear the air, have a heart-to-heart, articulate your vision, let them talk to you about what you're doing wrong. So the biggest thing when I deal with leaders is we do a 360. And look, it's not pleasant usually, right? Because you get everybody, together individually. I'll do that. I'll do the interviews, and you find out exactly, where the bodies are buried. And I'll tell you what, I find a lot of times the reason why teams don't function well is because the leaders don't function well. Your team, your business is a reflection of you. So if you're messed up, if you're distracted, if you're unorganized, if you're just trying to survive and make some money, hey, that's why you have the team you have. You've got to go ahead and elevate. And it's not about, oh, Joe, I need better people around me. No. We'll get you good people, but you're going to screw them up. Because you're not in a position, you don't have the skill sets, you don't have the psychology of being effective on top of the pyramid. And I don't care who we put below it, you'll screw them up. And that's why for some of you who've been at this for decades, you're like, man, I just can't find a good assistant. I just can't find a good assistant. I just can't find. Hey, wait a second. It's like a marriage. If you've been married 5 times, what's the one common denominator? You. Most of us don't want to hear that. So I know I took a little bit more time than I wanted today, but I want you to think about this. As we kind of prep for 2018, this whole quarter for me is like a dual message. Hey, let's wrap up 2017. Let's get to where we need to be. Let me kind of add value to here and now. But I want you to think about next year. What do you need to do different? What do you need to change, okay? Have a great day. See you tomorrow for the end of the week.